defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay By Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The CDC opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosile Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Another wonderful Thursday afternoon to you, everyone. Welcome once again to The Real Issues with me, Shelton Daniel, your host, alongside Jaquan Joseph, our technical operator. Our program airs weekdays from 12:30 until 2 p.m. on Real FM radio, serving you on the dual frequencies of 91.3 for the North and 91.5 South. We're also simulcasting on NBC Television, Channel 120 on the Flow Cable TV service. We are on Facebook Live and also streaming live on YouTube. Hope you're having a good day so far. I am quite a bit warmer than it was yesterday, but you got to get used to it. It comes with the territory. The things that we should never get used to are the littering and the illegal dumping of garbage, the crazy behavior on the roads that's leading to accidents and fatalities. We've had them in double digits, about 17 for the year so far. We should never get accustomed to the point where we become complacent about crime, the homicides, the gun crimes, and so many other things that are abnormalities, in our country. Let us never become like we are impervious to them, we are insensitive to them. They don't move us, they don't, they don't shake us, they don't in any way bother us and so on, because we have become so acclimated to them. We must continue to rage and push back and fight back against them, and always consider them to be outrages and abnormalities, things that we are never, in our minds, in our hearts, in our spirits, in our souls, we must never make peace with them, never make peace with them. To say, oh, well, that's the way it is, you know how it is already. I'm not saying you to go out there and to fight with people, or even to do heroics and so on, like this young man from Montgomery did recently, pursued an armed robber who had just held up a business owner, and he went in hot pursuit and met his demise. It's not that what he did was wrong, or that it was regrettable, or that we should say he was stupid or anything of that kind. But I think our fight against crime does not require us to be reckless or foolhardy. We have law enforcement. Let us work with them the best that we can, and let them do their share of the work. I will say again, you've heard me saying ad infinitum, perhaps ad nauseum, that I think sometimes we may get results from fighting a particular problem by fighting it in a manner that is indirect, by fighting it in a manner that does not appear to be head on. Now, yes, we say zero tolerance, and we want to take crime on head on, as we like to say. But at times you may be surprised that when you master the art of indirection, that you go after something and it yields other things. And given what we've seen on the TV and what we know happened in the shock area, etc., just today, we can sometimes have confidence that if some effort is put into combating, into going up against the lawlessness that we see on the roads, and other forms of lawlessness that on the surface and up front are not lethal, we might unexpectedly, we might inadvertently cut into the lethal aspects. People who have taken a life, their minds are not the same anymore. Their hearts are not the same. Their spirits are not the same. And if they can take a life and walk away, these are people for whom supposedly quote unquote lesser forms of crime will mean nothing to them. These are the people, if they can kill people and get away with it, and you don't know how many times they do it, making sure that they have a driver's license and it is paid, that their motorcycle is registered, that it has insurance. These are things that they're likely to say to hell with that. And they'll say to hell to so many of those lesser things because they have been to hell already. They are probably, in a manner of speaking, in hell at the time. They have killed people. They have taken lives already. As our old people would say in our traditions, yo jani moka batio, yo ni modeyo. Anything and everything else they can do is something that is, downriver, downwind. It's really nothing that they, that's too much for them. Their conscience is able to bear it. Breaking the law is something that does not make them nervous anymore. They have pushed the boundaries to its outer limits in terms of what human iniquity can accomplish. They have taken lives, And when these people, I tell you, walk around and you don't know if you're looking into the eyes of a killer, the other things that we may consider to be other forms of crime, maybe burning somebody's house, maybe holding people up at gunpoint, these people, those things really don't. When you're not a thief, you might go into some place and you pick up something, you try being a shoplifter or whatever, Or even as a young man, you take a mango from a neighbor that you didn't ask for and so on. The way your heart is racing because it's just not you. You're not accustomed with that. You're not supposed to. You know your mother has spoken to you about it. You know if you're reported, if you are caught, you know the kind of curtail that you're going to get, because of that kind of thing. Why? Because something inside of you is still revolting, is still rebelling. It still inspires a certain fear inside of you. When people have killed, I believe they have crossed that boundary. They have crossed that Rubicon. The normal reactions of fear and guilt and those things don't work in them. So I want to appeal again, put some more effort into those road patrols and those stops and pursuing people and taking people up on license plates that just don't seem right, and the kind of lights that they have on their vehicle that are dazzling and disorienting people, as if the road has become some kind of rolling discotheque and so on, and it's mirror ball lights and strobe lights and flashing lights and all kinds of irregular lights that you have. Sometimes I wonder if I didn't wear glasses that have, how you call it, this kind of dazzle suppression, glare reduction and all those kinds of things on it. If I didn't have glasses, I wonder if I would be able to tolerate driving at night and the people who are doing it and so on. Go take a look at them. What kind of vehicle they have, how are they operating? You dig a little deeper, you probably find they have no license. You probably find, and then you can bust them, and then you can work your way up, and you might probably find a lot more things. Which is not to say you don't go after the forensics and all the gunpowder residue, and also that you can find out who is likely to have shot this person. I'm just saying there is a possibility that a lot of these higher crimes, these scarier crimes, these violent crimes, these mortal incidents and so on, that perhaps the people doing them are connected to a lot of other things, because they now have a sense of impunity that if I could take a life, if I could take lives and get away with it, these other things, they're nothing. I'll get away, I'll find a way to beat them. That arrogance can probably set into them, and you probably will find a way to bust them because of that very criminal cockiness that they have about them. All right, I promise today we're going to have a little conversation about special prosecutor, because I know throughout the time, even before the special prosecutor was actually appointed, but when the Prime Minister announced that they would be going the way of the special prosecutor to investigate and prosecute, well, I don't know for the investigate, but to, bring, if it was warranted, charges against people who had been involved in graft and corruption and the bubble and all the things that were alleged and so on, to find out whether they were chargeable, whether they were actionable, whether they were things that people could be brought to court before. We know a lot of people were asking until then, when they're appointing the special prosecutor, when they bring the special prosecutor, what happened to the special prosecutor? I'm not hearing anything about the special prosecutor. Well, the special prosecutor, I think it was November last year, was in fact appointed in the person of a former chief magistrate, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Robert Innocent. But then the complaints have shifted to, we're not hearing anything about the special prosecutor. What is the special prosecutor doing? Is the special prosecutor doing anything? Is the special prosecutor doing any work and so on? I understand how people feel about it, but I'm going to say two things on that. We have to understand that legal and judicial processes, they don't necessarily have to move slowly, but in order to be thorough, in order to be airtight, in order to be the kinds of things that can hold up in court, so that prosecutor and the government and everybody else, the whole system that is associated with that prosecutor, that they don't end up being made a mockery of, The special prosecutor is one person. Granted, he may have support staff and so on. But I think over the years, we have seen the lawyers who represent criminals, how absolutely adept, how absolutely life and totally skilled when they come and represent those people, and how they can make prosecutors and state people, whatever, look like fools. And any prosecutor worth his salt wants to make sure that whatever he's building in terms of preparing his case, whatever he is going to present to court, whatever recommendations he's going to make for certain people to be arrested and charged and brought to court on the evidence that you build against them, that it is as solid as possibly can be. Rock solid, we like to say. Generally speaking, people like prosecutors and DPPs and attorneys general and crown prosecutors and so on, unlike the American system where we know they come and they talk about, we intend to charge this person and we have a sworn statement and we have, they tend to do that. In our system, it's a little different. It's a lot different. Our prosecutors and our court people and so on, they tend not to talk so much because the resources that the United States of America, the Manhattan DA and so on have at their disposal, both in terms of resources for security, resources for a lot of things, our people down here, prosecutors, they have to be very careful. Not only can they be targeted, and the security and the protection and the details with them would be very meager, very threadbare and so on, but the people who they interview, the people who they tend to call as witnesses and so on, they have to be very careful that they don't say anything that compromises the safety and the security of those people. Can you imagine, St. Lucia, if now in the special prosecutor's work, the special prosecutor takes what they call them depositions from any number of people, and then it can be determined that these people can be in possible danger, just the fact that they are known or suspected to have spoken to the special prosecutor, that they may have squealed on somebody. Can you imagine the nightmare about finding police to guard these people and to protect them 24/7 round the clock? This is extremely dangerous work, potentially. There are some very bad and some very evil people who understand, the deficiencies of our system, the shortages in our system, and who can work their way in any number of ways to intimidate people, to bribe people, to browbeat people, and to do all kinds of things. People, let me tell you all this thing. I know of a story where a young man who was a gang member, and I won't tell you where, whether here or overseas, and he spoke to me. And he apparently had a conversion experience. He became a born-again Christian and he decided he was putting all that behind him. He didn't go to the police to squeal on his former gang buddies or anything like that. He just decided he didn't want that life anymore. And he was putting it aside. And you almost would not recognize him dressing up to go to church, holding his Bible in his hand and, just wanting to live the life of a converted born-again Christian. Wasn't troubling anybody. Nobody felt threatened by him anymore. But you know what? One of the things he told me, he was surprised that when he turned his life around, that is when he was receiving the worst threats. That is when he was suffering menace. Why? Because the former gang buddies were nervous that with his new converted born-again life, he might make this part of his testifying, of giving his testimony and so on, to go and talk in a manner that he might identify them and things that they had done. And so he was getting warnings and threats. Don't have around, if you're going in your mouth, we will take you out, He had no intention. He just wanted to live the life of peace. But he was surprised that just when he had, I don't know if he ever really had guns, put down his guns and put down his knife and put down those kind of things. That's when. And it wasn't opponents or whatever, but guys within the whole gang system who were just jittery, that his change of life might move him to feel that he must come clean, that he must, go clean and talk to law enforcement about things he knew that had happened. And so he was under threat, so much more than when he was actually in that criminal life. I'm saying this because a special prosecutor has to conduct what he's doing in a methodical manner, in a manner that is thorough, in a manner that he can have as much confidence. Let me tell you, if you see that special prosecutor goes about doing his work in a manner where the cases that he takes to court, they collapse in short order, it isn't really special prosecutor. The people who want to make something out of CIP and they always have some accusation. You can imagine the field day that they will have. if the cases collapsed because it was sloppy, because it was hurried, because, it was not thorough, it didn't have, the rigor, the investigative and prosecutorial rigor about it and so on, to make sure that at least some of the charges could hold up. A special prosecutor or any kind of prosecutor, DPP, they have to be very careful. Police as well, in terms of what they do. Losing a case is not just about losing a case. It's the whole system, the credibility of the whole system can fall apart. That being said, it is a very tricky and difficult situation when a government has to put its weight, its support, its backing behind such a development as the appointment of a special prosecutor and the passing of enabling legislation to have that special prosecutor. But yet the government has to maintain what I will say is the normal judicial aloofness, silence. We're not saying anything, we don't have to. And let me just butt in with a little digression here. There's a lot more that Ernest Hilaire and McLeod Emmanuel and Philip J. Pierre and the people at Galaxy and whoever else can say, that they can say, which would instantly bury a lot of those allegations and accusations, the wrap out allegations that, something is said there, Martinez said that, so right away, that is the evidence, wrap out. You don't have to care about where the ball was tracking or any kind of thing. You just have to somebody make an accusation and that's it, yeah, this is the kind of foolishness that's going on here. There's a lot more that Ernest Hilaire, etc. could say to very properly not only defend themselves, but to totally discredit, shame, and embarrass the people who are making them, Martinez and all of them. But you know what? Their lawyers are telling them, don't say anything. The lawyers are telling them, chill. The lawyers are telling them, if they've gone to court with it, let them make the mistakes and the blunders. Let them make statements in public that will contradict what they have filed and their depositions and their disclosures and all of that. Let us not make those blunders too. Let them go about with all their prejudice. Let them say all the things they say, fellas who go in and admit that they filed in RICO lawsuit which stands for racketeering, influence, corrupt organization. But you go in and say that you give me some money, from the corruption that you made and the corrupt kickbacks that you got. Let them make those mistakes. Let's not go and make them. Let them go yapping and jawing off about a lawsuit that they say they have filed, but they don't seem to have the confidence in the lawsuit to wait for their day in court. There's a lot more, I'm telling you. What Ernest Hilaire said is a recognition of his ministerial responsibility, that as a minister of government, a member of parliament, he's supposed, he can't just let it. And Kenny Anthony must have felt the same way with that so-called impacts report when he gave a summary of its findings. He didn't go into the deep evidence aspects of it. But you say you're going to appoint it, it come out, the report is there. Kenny Anthony likely felt he couldn't tell people, I can't tell you anything. He has to decide and measure how much he can tell them, what he can say to the public, when he can say it and so on, without compromising the whole investigation. And that is the thing with a special prosecutor. Even if Attorney General Leslie Mondesi and Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre, who's the Minister of Justice, there are things that they can come and say to the public. They have to tread very carefully. They don't want to come and to say anything because everything is being recorded so that it can be used later, so that it can be part of the case to point out on such and such a date, the Prime Minister said such and such and such. How did the Prime Minister know that when he's not supposed to be fed information and so on? They have to be very careful. But I also think it is their responsibility not to come out as being contemptuous or disdainful of the public, of being so aloof that you don't tell. I think a little ordinary, nothing hangs on its statement from time to time. We want to give the public the assurance that the work of the special prosecutor is continuing. Statements are being taken, witness statements, depositions, whatever you call them, are being done. This is often a very lengthy and time-consuming process, one which requires, a great degree of punctiliousness, a great degree of rigor to make it out. But the special prosecutor is continuing, and at the appropriate time, the matter will be taken. There's something I was saying about C.O. Williams. The same thing I was saying about C.O. Williams. You don't have to come and give people all kinds of complicated and involved technical jargon about engineering, but just, tell people, work on the Millennium Highways continuing. There has been a slight delay at 2 points because these are the points where water coming from both sides, will be taken off the road and etc. And we have to watch out the impact of that water and where it will knock against, the drain works and the concrete works and the aqueducts and so on. And this is being done to ensure that, something like that, to tell people, keep people informed. And so I would suggest that between the Attorney General, the Prime Minister, Special Prosecutor, whatever, that they should be able to come up with some kind of statement that will satisfy and appease this impatience that we are getting. People are asking questions about it, and sometimes it ends. People don't want names and for you to disclose things. I think we all know that. I think Special Prosecutor, as a former Chief Magistrate and the Attorney General, a top lawyer himself, and all of them, they know. But I think you have to give people a little something that they can hang on to, have the assurance that the situation is not one that is forgotten, out of sight, out of mind, and nothing is being given. Having said that, though, let me come on the other side too. Especially to Labour Party members, supporters, followers, to people who have respect and admiration and trust in Philip J. Pierre. I believe Philip J. Pierre has given you sufficient reason to trust him, to trust his judgment, to trust that he knows what he's doing, to trust that he's a man who has got this. Philip has got this. I think there comes a time where we have to tell ourselves that whether it is on St. Jude Hospital, whether it is on the police commissioner, Philip J. Pierre stays quiet. He doesn't say, as a matter of fact, that's me speaking. I rather suspect that the opponents of Philip J. Pierre have now woken up to realize that Pip is most deadly when he's most silent. When he's not talking, when he's not saying anything, that's when he's doing a lot of things. That's when he's doing everything, That's when he's coming, when it seems like he's just at a standstill. And when we hear about the possibility that St. Jude, the timeline where it may finish and so on, is like it is the element of surprise. Now, this is a man who was a master at making Flambeau and Alan Chasley feel that he's on the ropes with St. Jude. And next thing, he had gotten funding for it. And from every indication, the work is a lot more advanced than many of us would have thought. And a lot of other things. That's his way. He moves at blinding speed. That if Philip J. Pierre is not saying anything about the Special Prosecutor, and Leslie Mondesi, the Attorney General, isn't saying anything about the Special Prosecutor, I think Philip J. Pierre has given you enough reason to trust him and to believe things are happening. Something is going on. He cannot talk about it. If he knows what's going on, he should not talk about it. And I say if he knows because the Special Prosecutor, remember, was not appointed by the Prime Minister, was not appointed by the Attorney General, was not appointed by the Ministry of Legal Affairs and Justice or National Security, whatever. The Special Prosecutor was appointed by the Regional Legal and Judicial Services Commission. I think that is the same body that appoints judges and that appoints magistrates and all of that. This is an august body. It's an independent body. Prime Minister have no say. The applications had to be put there. They had to be screened. Interviews had to be done. Selections were done by the Regional Legal and Judicial Services Commission. The Prime Minister can't come and talk about anything at any time in any way. He knows that. And it is better for them to stay quiet and to let people, including their supporters, get impatient and mistakenly believe that nothing is happening when a lot is happening. I can't tell you how much is happening. I can tell you how it is being communicated. I want to say that I believe the Prime Minister by now should have earned our trust and our confidence that this whole matter, when it is like that, even if he is quiet, he knows it is not floundering. He knows it is not flopping. He knows it is not a fiasco. He knows it is not stuck. He knows it has not stalled. And I believe we can give him the benefit of the doubt. Give the Prime Minister the benefit of the doubt, people. If he holding his peace on it, I keep telling you, just look at the appointment of Vanguard as police commissioner. The United Workers' Party and its surrogates and members and fanatics and so on, they were waiting. They had themselves all brace up for a fight to have things in total uproar and commotion because it's Ronald Phillip they're going to put, and we can't wait. And look at that, easy like Sunday morning. Easy like Sunday morning. Perhaps the most suitable man that they could find. Perhaps, people were surprised. Hey, Vanguard, I hadn't thought about that. And he's there. And when I heard him talking about the connection he has maintained with his colleagues and former colleagues in the police force and so on, I said, look at that, Did anybody ever suppose that as director of corrections, as head of bodily, that Vanguard, a man who has decades in policing and law enforcement, that he likely was a man who was, hand in glove as part of the whole security apparatus? Did they ever think about that? Did they ever think that St. Jude Hospital, while they're trying to make noise about the box and all of that, that work is going on all the time? And there may be many, 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 many other examples of it. People, I want to say, if you really trust your leader, if you believe in him, if you really think that he's got this and he knows what he's doing, and that one of his greatest strengths is the propensity of his opponents to underestimate him, but he's getting things done, he and those with him, I want to tell you, don't fret about special prosecutor. Philip J. Pierre would not be there sitting complacently and satisfied and so on if he believed or if he knew that special prosecutor had stalled. That special prosecutor is going nowhere. I just don't believe that. And that is when you get to have that degree of trust. And that is what the United Workers' Party is trying to destroy, They recognize that Philip J. Pierre's perhaps greatest strength, apart from his own efficiency and competence, etc., is that Philip J. Pierre has a vast majority of St. Lucians and his own cabinet. He then put on, when Stephenson King and Richard Frederick and all of them, they talk about this man and how he's such a guiding hand and how he steers his ship and how he points them in the right direction. And when they maybe begin to suffer a little, failing of their focus, how he puts them back on focus and so on. And the vast majority of people, they have confidence in him. When he speaks, they believe him, the credibility. It's difficult to come and tell people what seems to be the UWP's only talking point. It's always about the bluff. It's always about the fooling you. It's always about the lying to you. It's always about, to try to destroy Philip J. Pierre's credibility. They know it is his greatest strength. And if you're one of those who believe that this is a man of his word, this is a man I can take at his word, this is a man I can trust, this is a man I have no evidence ever that this man is on bluff and trying to deceive us and lie to us. Folks, hold fast to that. Hold fast to that, as you have in other things, and you have not been disappointed. I am prepared. I am prepared to put out my hand into the fire of swearing that this special prosecutor, I believe, Philip, has got that as well. We take our first commercial break. When we come back, no gesturing around. The lines will be open for your calls and your messages. This is The Real Issues.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real Issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's ginger turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosile Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild, the power to heal, the future of pain relief.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Our telephone lines are open for your calls. The numbers to dial. You can WhatsApp call us. Listen carefully. 487-9849. That's 487-9849. And you can call us on the landline. That is 4533-911. Now we have so many messages. I'm trying to get through them to see which ones maybe I can read, but we have a call on the line already. Good afternoon. Real Issues, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Shelton. Good afternoon to your viewers and listeners.
How are you doing? You early today?
Well, yeah, I went out for lunch today. I just happened to be listening to your show and another one simultaneously.
What's the matter? You left the toy for me?
The toy?
I noticed you haven't collected your piece of equipment that you lent me, so just...
Don't worry, I'll get it because maybe next time I come on your show, I'll collect it.
All right, just...
It's safe in your hands.
All right, just know that it's safe, yes, okay.
Of course. Sheldon, just happened, like I said, I was listening to another talk show simultaneously. And I happened to hear the host, a caller's calls regarding the crime situation. And, he was basically expressing his view that, this talk about the government. And, the general sense, they're saying that the government can't really stop the crime wave that's happening right now. And to some extent, I agree. But what really shocked me was the host, and if you don't mind me saying Timothy, is telling the caller But, it's the government's responsibility. But what I want to know is when Alan Chasney, prior to the 2016 election, said that Kenny can't, but he will. During those 5 years, especially the first year in office when we saw the highest homicide rate on St. Lucia up until that point, we never heard Timothy calling on the government to stop this. So I just wanted to point out the hypocrisy within this media fraternity with regards to that situation. And it's really disappointing hearing him say that. Secondly, Sheldon, I just want to remind you, I'm not sure if you're able to, I sent you a message yesterday just to share the flyer, if you can. We really need St. Lucians to take that survey so we have a better understanding of our communication and outreach methods going forward, and so that we can better help the public prepare for times of disaster, especially hurricanes at this point. So just reminding you and the public to fill out the survey.
All right, okay. Sorry if I didn't give it as much attention as it should.
That's all right. Yesterday was a busy day.
Yes, it was. Yeah, but thank you very much. But let me ask you just one question before you go. Had it been UWP that was in office at this time when we've been having this very high homicides and gun killings and all of that and so on, do you think Labour Party supporters and Labour Party aligned media would have been any less severe and harsh on the UWP government than the UWP is trying to be now on us? It just seems to be something that we have.
Example, 2016 to 2021, the example was there was not any harshness, or at least the type of criticism that you would get regarding what is going on in St. Lucia was nowhere as dim-witted as what you see now coming out from United Workers' Party and its supporters. There's no way. I think I'll put my leg out, my hand out and say, that I believe there's a stark contrast between the supporters of the new WP and the Labour Party.
Okay, all right.
They're miles apart.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. 487-9849. You can WhatsApp call us on that, and you can call us direct on the landline 4533-911. Let me just acknowledge a gentleman who sent a couple messages. He says, this is a nation, not just a destination, of Nobel laureates, successful captain of West Indies international cricket, Olympic medalist, and many other distinguished citizens in many fields. The world, more than we realize, is listening in, especially to the discourse of political leadership and aspirants. Looking to invest in and support a young, talented nation, what are they hearing, reading, seeing? Go figure, count the cost and reactions. So I want to thank you so much for this message. I think it is just timely, and I think it is on point, that the manner in which some people are going, without a word that they seem to love as if they just discovered it, evidence. They have evidence. They are out there on international pedestals and platforms and whatever to try to sully the name of St. Lucia and make it look like it is an absolute, I don't know how to describe it. It's an absolute cauldron and festering pit, cesspit of corruption, and it's a corruption, and it's a this and a that that's going on and so on. And the international community, the international financial institutions, none of them seem to have that. I don't know if those people believe that the manner in which information is captured by the U.S. State Department and so on is by they going on lives and doing those sorts of things. They're making utter morons of themselves. They're trying to dirty the name of St. Lucia because they believe that, the kind of public relations catastrophe that they will engender with this, that it will enable them to ride back on the back of such chaos. They're looking to profit by chaos which they are fomenting. I've never seen such wicked intentions, but what I want to encourage people who are listening to the real issues is let this thing strengthen your resolve. And I thought about that last night when I saw Alison Jean as the guest of her fellow Senator Lisa Jawahi on that choice program, between 9 and 10 p.m. and Putting You First, the name of that program. And I grew by leaps and bounds in my admiration for Alison Jean when she indicated that those attacks on her, all they have done is strengthen her resolve. And I cannot speak for anybody, but I believe the Jean family into which she is married, her husband Bertram, her brother-in-law Ignatius, and Earl Borlaug Jean, all of them, and Dr. Janice Stanley, the wife of Ignatius Jean, I get a feeling that this thing is only strengthening their resolve. I get a feeling that apart from the couple of scaredy cat people that Rejock and Martinez got through to at the citizenship by investment, that the head of the CIU and other staff who understand what is happening and no crime has been committed and no law has been broken, I believe this thing has strengthened their resolve. And I believe that this walk of progress that we had very recently, more than maybe its organizers would have realized, would have anticipated, that it served as an instrument, a catalyst to strengthen the resolve of tens of thousands of St. Lucians who are now more sure that the country is headed in the right direction and that the country is well led and that the country, does not suffer from the ailments and the malaises that people would like to make us believe. Continue, people. I encourage you to strengthen your resolve. We have another caller on the line. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Daniel.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Yeah. The same way that Alan Shastri spent 5 years in office claiming that he had evidence on Ernest Hiller's SUV.
Mm-hmm.
You spent 5 years, you couldn't get the evidence while you was in power. And you're out of power, you're still looking for evidence.
Mm-hmm.
If you had any evidence concerning our CIP, you would have presented it already.
Mm-hmm.
And our question to you is what you did with our CIP money.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we want you to answer. The journalists and them should have asked you that question.
Yeah.
And we do not just want that in words, we want it in documentary evidence. What you did with our CIP money.
Where's the funds? Yeah, where's the funds? WTF. And thank you very much, caller. It's not just the CIP money. The fellas are making a big deal about Galaxy doing business. When the fellas were the ones who brought Galaxy. The fellas were the ones who brought Lescan. The fellas were the ones who gave all the concessions and all the shares and all the things, whatever. But all of a sudden, there's everything wrong with Galaxy. And it's not just the CIP money they can't tell us, anything about. The fellas came to power saying that they know that the government of then Prime Minister Kenny Anthony was charging people a bluff $6.80 on every gallon of gas. They were making more than the excise tax and whatever they were saying. And the $6.80, and that they would find it to this day. How many years it has been since 2016, whatever? We're not talking about 8 years. They cannot show you where that $6.80 per gallon was coming from because it never existed. We have a call on the line. Good afternoon. Real Issues.
Good afternoon, Mr. Shelton.
Good afternoon to you.
Yes, first of all, let me congratulate the new acting commissioner, Mr. Gruengal. This is a gentleman I know personally at the beginning of his journey. And I saw it in him, so I'm not surprised that he's commissioner. All I'm telling him, keep politics away from the force. Because most of the fellows that there is political would be them. Although it's a political appointment, but I'm telling him, I'm advising him to keep politics away from the force.
Let me ask you a question. Would you support me and agree with me if I say that if I had the opportunity to advise Mr. Vungado to make a suggestion, I would tell him there are a couple of fellas in the force that he needs to retire them in the public interest.
Well,
and for precisely that reason, they're too political. They're way too political.
Well, he's a young man I know personally, and I could meet him and tell him that. He'll hear me, but I agree with you 100%.
Okay. All right, go ahead with your contribution. I didn't mean to.
What I call to say, that when you have an ex-prime minister, when you have an ex-prime minister, somebody who is looking forward for direction, and he's saying you have to get angry.
Yeah.
And he's saying that in an angry and rage way, and he's going to open war. I don't know who is opening war.
It's called incitement. That's what it's called. Incitement.
Yes. And these are the guys that is complaining now. Well, at the time he said so we had crime. Crime never stopped. But in a place where we have crime, you as a man that want to lead cannot come out and tell your supporters that we're going to have war. And that is not something people say. He says, you heard him saying it, you have to get angry. And when I look at the man that was saying you have to get angry, I myself was so angry against him for saying that when you know we have crime in St. Lucia. The other thing is, I want to know where is the money for the... I keep on saying that, the land that he said that it was like $60,000 US per acre. I want to know where is that money?
Where is the funds?
Where is the funds?
Yeah, WTF, where is the funds?
And I cannot remember raising a little boy going and buy bread from the Shatners. They had their old bakery opposite the Lehat office there. Little boys going on there. I never can tell that the Shatners have bought St. Lucia, I cannot remember that Mr. Shatner is behaving as though he owns St. Lucia. He does not own St. Lucia. I must let him know that he's not own St. Lucia. I know he's a ruler, but he does not own St. Lucia. The man is behaving as though he owns St. Lucia, I must also tell him that he can jump high or low. After these 5 years, he will have to wait for another 5 years and maybe another 5 years because his behavior and his supporters and his men have an...
You know 5 is his favorite number.
Hello?
5 is his favorite number.
Yes.
5 to stay alive, 5 this or 5...
You'll have to finish that 5. That 5 he said cannot wait.
Imute on the 5 who's have.
What he intend to do? A coup? I don't know if it's a coup he intend to pull. When he said he cannot wait for 5 years, he just cannot wait. Why Mr. Shatner is so obsessed with power? Don't tell me St. Lucia and Shatner like that. For me, so obsessed. The man is obsessed with power. He realized he cannot find his way in St. Lucia. He's going up to New York and motivate people that can hardly come to St. Lucia. They burn
the man likes to live in the air. The man likes to always be on a plane, always traveling somewhere. So any kind of excuse. Now, he went to Washington to meet with Martinez and yet he comes back and he says he wants Martinez to send him this, and so it's like they let him look at something. He could barely skim. They didn't give him any photocopies, no thumb drives, it seemed.
Nothing. He come empty-handed now. Now everybody couldn't list something, but I like the kind of question Tim was asking him now at the time, Tim was asking some leading question I was not expecting to ask him, and you could see the answer is coming, You see, he did not find nothing with Martinez. So he went and they organized a party, what was a town hall meeting, a party I were there supporting him, in my days, growing up, I never see 30 police that, felt like Guy Joseph and these fellas, I never see 30 police that. Guys are obsessed, and they will stay in the obsession. We see where they are there, that's where they're going to stay. Because all the good things Philip has put in place, I don't think the people turn away from Philip at all. So tell Mr. Shapley, we'll have to spend another 5 years. After this, we finish that 5 years, we'll have to spend another 5 years.
Okay.
Show him that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. The recent statements by opposition politicians are reprehensible. Tanto, writes someone else. One sends a message, says, next campaign slogan is 5 to 5. We have another call on the line. Hi, good afternoon. Real Issues.
Good afternoon, Mr. Shelton.
How are you doing, sir?
Doing good. Surprised that you missed something, man.
What's that?
You missed something. You're not paying attention.
I'm not hearing you very well.
You're not paying attention.
Talk to me.
Alan Shastley went into Parliament and declared himself a liar, and it's in the Hansard.
He declared his own self a liar.
Well, listen to me now. Just before the last election, he went into Parliament and said that the 680 was never true.
Okay, I
It
must
was
have
never 680.
I must have missed that one. I must be coming like Shastni, not paying attention.
So that is in the hands that power.
Okay.
So we can call Newspin and declare and call Shastni a liar.
I wonder what Guy Joseph. That Guy Joseph must have had a few choice words for him after he came out with that parliamentary.
You know what? Guy Joseph was at that sitting.
No, because Guy Joseph is not in power. When did Shastni say that? That was while they were in power.
While they were in office.
Okay, wow.
He said the 680, there was never 680.
Okay.
That was just a few months before the last election.
Guy Joseph did by mission Carlo to Savapwe. See, it's with you.
I don't know why people don't remember that, Gaffer.
I was out of the country at the time, so maybe my focus was not sharp as it could have been and so on. But, really and truly, to go there and to never come and apologize and say, okay, I made a mistake, I didn't recalculate this thing. So just come and say that, the government is overcharging people by 680 on each gallon of gas. Man, 680 on each gallon, that's a lot of money,
He didn't apologize, he just declared that the 680 was
he never apologizes for anything, nothing whatsoever. Everything he does he was right and he was damn right. Yeah, that's the way he behaves.
So I'm just reminding people that he has now confirmed himself as a liar.
He has confirmed himself as being not a credible witness, right?
No, he had already done that in a casino case.
I know, but I'm saying he further confirms that he's not a credible. Anyway, thank you very much, caller. Thanks a lot. Agreed, Shelton. Retire them in the public interest. You have a couple, not many, but you have a couple of people who behaving like the police force for them is about politics, being politicians, and then you hear that they had actually put their hat in the ring to be candidates and so on, and everything they do, the fellas coming out openly talking out of turn, talking out of things that are not within the purview of police welfare or whatever it is. I mean, either you want to be a cop or you want to be a loudmouth politician and so on. And there's some people to me, their presence is inimical and they should be retired in the public interest. I'm hearing you. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
If a man cannot remember his age, what else do you expect?
Who can't remember his age?
But Shastni said he's 62, and you have to correct him.
Okay, because I thought I heard that this year was his 60th birthday.
Well, he is 62.
Was that?
He said he's 62.
I heard the 62, but before that I had heard that this year was not just the 60th anniversary of the UWP, it's also the 60th birthday of Alan Chastney. So is he 60 or 62?
Well, you have to clarify that, then.
No, didn't you hear that?
After he said he was 62, then he came back, there's a clip, then he came back and said he's 63.
He's 63?
Yeah.
Okay.
So depending on how I'm this thing back.
Okay.
Now, let me tell you something. I sent something to you. I was happy to read it.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I wanted to read out.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, then.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Good morning, my peeps. Since you all are calling and texting me about my take on Vern being Commissioner of Police, here is my take on it. And I am speaking for myself. First of all, I've worked with him for a short stint at HMP. Well, there's no HMP. Well, I don't know. Her Majesty's Prison. I was an SPC at the time attached to the prisons. He left to join the police service. Then years later, he became the Director of Corrections. Let me say this without fear of contraction. I think he means fear of contradiction. Mr. Vern is a man who believes in his staff. He will know your strengths and weaknesses. He will support you. Just don't disappoint him. He does not condone corrupt practices, malfeasance, or tolerate indiscipline. There was never a task that was assigned to me, and I did not excel in it. When I was asked to manage the Tango, Echo, and Delta units, I did not flinch or back down in any way, knowing that those units were hotspots. He supported my ideas, my initiatives, and gave me full autonomy to run those units. I got 100% of his support, I must say. One thing about him, he loves to hold meetings with his staff or management more often than not to keep himself abreast of what's happening. I'll continue that message. It's a bit lengthy. We have a call on the line. Good afternoon. Real Issues.
Good afternoon, Shelton.
Hi, how you doing?
Not too bad.
Shelton, listen. I mean, we go over this time after time after time.
Mm-hmm. What's that?
And according to Alison and Lisa on their show last night.
Yes.
Look, Alan Shastney et al. Know they were lying through their teeth. Whether it be Alan Shastney, whether it be Guy Joseph, whether it be Nancy Charles, the bunch of them, they know they were lying through their teeth. Labour Party people know they were lying through their teeth. UWP people know they were lying through their teeth. Well, at least those who are not, members of the 43 percenters. But the thing is, each and every lie that is debunked gives way to even more lies. Alan Shastney will look at people in their eyes and with a straight face tell you that 3 times 3 equals 49. And he will attempt to justify that using all kinds of disjointed, crazy reasoning. And he will take you from point A to point Z, to make you to attempt to make you so confused that you lose track of what he was talking about in the first place, that 3 times 3 equals 49. Which, I mean, any school child, little school child, will know that that's a complete fabrication, because 3 times 3 doesn't equal 49, but 9. So the thing is, yes, I mean, we have to continue debunking the lies that those people tell, which is, unfortunate, because that distracts from the real issues. But the thing is, as I mentioned earlier, everybody knows that those guys, every time they open their mouth, because they have no real issue on which to challenge the SLP government. So every time they open their mouths, they spew lies like crazy, desperately hoping that something that something will stick. It ain't gonna happen. Thanks, Shelton.
All right, thank you very much. All right, continuing the message, it says that Mr. God loves to hold meetings with his staff or management more often than not to keep himself abreast of what's happening. Always wants to be in the know. As the head of department, he will assign a task to you. He expects you to carry it out. If it's too difficult to do it, inform him, but don't stay there, malinger, and don't produce results. You will get on his bad side. Just do what you have to do. Seek advice. One thing I admired about Vern God is that he has a retentive memory, which is remarkable. He does not forget events or things from way, way back, and he will tell you verbatim. My personal belief is, with his mindset, his skills as a manager, he will do a good job. If he gets the support from those around him, he will get the job done as a collective. But he also has an edge, though. He knows the criminals as he dealt with them at BCF on a daily basis. For you see, Mr. God held his weekly clinics with every inmate at the facility. To the criminals out there, be informed that there is a new sheriff in town by the name of Vern God. All right. Well, this person seems to know Vern God better than at least me, and I'm sure many other people, and he has a lot of respect for him and a lot of confidence in him. Another person wrote, the new COP sounded very focused and determined to do the job as it must be done. All the best to him. We need to do serious policing in many areas of behavior and in the country. We have another caller on the line. Hi, good afternoon. Real Issues. Hello? All right, okay. We seem to have lost that call. What I would suggest, Jaquan, let's go for the commercial break now. And when we come back, we'll be taking more of the calls and reading more of the messages as we've been doing.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real Issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell's supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop, opposite the Grosley Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild, the power to heal, the future of pain relief.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
I've often wondered, is there a similarity in the mindset of people who engage in bullet assassination, shooting people heartlessly and all of that, and character assassination? And I have to tell you, this recent saga with Martinez and that CIP thing has really astounded me in the manner in which some people go about engaging in wanton, unconscionable character assassination against people, just saying things about them, accusing them, and saying it is evidence and saying it is, that sort of thing? Is there a similarity in the mindset that people are killing people all the time without pressing any trigger? The character assassination that is being employed as a political weapon, are they any better than the people who actually pull triggers and knife and that on people? This is horrible, what has been happening in our country. Anyway, we have a call on the line. Good afternoon, Real Issues.
C'est pour ça que les marabouts couillent le programme.
Pourquoi ça?
Because on a parlé whole matin. On n'y là.
Okay.
On n'y là en ligne. Anyway.
Ou même qu'à chen ko là en ligne pour ça bon parole.
Moi ça va vous dire comme moi.
All right. Pas de problème. Ça qui est le lido.
Ça qui est le lido moi c'est moi appartiens à UWP Shakespeare. You only short memory. You can suffer avec memory loss.
Amnesia.
Oui. Because massacre presque tout bagay se mouk sa ka mene mouté. Including yon di de gros bouillant zieno. Well, you could put the galaxy aside. They took one power west, one basa. They won't buy. They buy go party. They won't find, including the Millennium Highway, which was initiated under Alan Chasney.
Yes.
Except Buksa by Philip J.P. Kualesa and King Kualesa was still ready to contract negotiate about those. And I could tell you, Shelton, the contracts are sealed in 2019. Latin Jean Baptiste take a shashate. You the hour to pass the election, sir. Shannon Labod, the press secretary, infrastructure, pressman. He came on the radio and he said, as he speaks, traffic management plan is already in progress. Moi, I'm hard to give my main passion highway because the traffic pala, but that was the last couché là, rien pas fait. Toi, si tu veux la bonne couleur ça, ou qu'à si ready, the labor initiate contract là. Yo ti fait ba yo, yo, but they swing it. And every other issue, the issue we have today at OKEU is because of Alan Chasney called the Cayman. According to oublié, it's just a Sahot syndrome or Sahot mania. To things you have done to pretend you don't know about it, you are not part of it. I'll tell you something, Shelton.
Yes.
I'll break my code. And I'll ask one question. I want you to answer me if you can.
If I
Remember that Jufali issue?
Yes.
For years and years and years and years, trying to get it to stick.
Yes.
Is it coincidence that the CIP have that same kind of thing boiling it?
It's the same person they're going after.
That's all. I rest my case.
It's the same person that they're going after.
This CIP, Nijuvalia, the Jimo. So the Jimo, an identical twin. Hoping that it would stick.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right.
It is my opinion that the newly appointed acting commissioner should involve the lower ranks when preparing a crime-fighting plan, which would include auxiliary officers, police constables, corporals, and sergeants. Previous crime-fighting plans prepared by the executive have not been that successful. This is my humble opinion expressed. On another note, it is of my opinion the newly appointed acting commissioner of police was a good choice. I forgot to add the lower rank are the ones with their feet, eyes, and ears on the ground. All right. We have a call on the line. Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, Shelton.
How you doing?
Not a bunch of. Let me ask you, are there rules governing police constables, the whole police department?
There's supposed to be rules at all levels and ranks of policing that apply to all.
Because the way I've listened to enough talk shows with many police officers calling and being very political. It's not only today this has been happening. But I will always believe that the hierarchy of the force, the commissioner or commissioners have been very weak in not putting a bridle on these guys.
Yeah, honestly,
You're
I find.
supposed to be doing your work and not involving in. If every policeman has to be political, their work will not be achieved.
Not only that,
they will not make arrests because of who they know.
Police will be shooting at each other all the time because honestly.
So why can't a commissioner take the horns by the bull, take the bull by the horns, and put some order in this place? It has not been done. I really hope that Vanguard will come in there and put a stop to that. I know they believe that they are protected by the police union, and that they can do as in like in any other union. Members sometimes believe that they can misbehave, behave disorderly, do anything they please, and they get away with it. It's so blatantly. I have been listening. I'm calling no names. I've been hearing of certain police officers really attacking the government. You think that is right? If that is the case, everybody in the public service and anywhere, all the other police officers should do the same. There must be order. Something must be done. And I hope Vanguard really show that he has some guts to take control of that situation.
Okay.
Yes, and just one more issue.
Yeah.
And with the character assassination, we saw what happened to Alison Jean. We have been hearing, and other persons, Healy and so many others. I believe organizations, you have representatives, you have a board, and any board is not just Alison's name you sullying. You sullying also the reputation of the NERC. And nobody will tell me it's not somebody from inside, within. This sort of information would have come from. The board should be conducting an investigation because they are hurting the NERC. Whoever would have given that information, it didn't just come out from the air. Somebody within there, people within there that would have done that nasty piece of nastiness.
And like I said yesterday,
calling and asking questions and making these people uncomfortable in their position. How could this be leaked? It could be leaked anytime. Information. Why would you do such a thing? You're hurting the NERC internationally as well. Why do we behave so nasty?
Yep. Makes sense. Thank you very much, my friend.
Thank you.
Good afternoon to you, Bernard Haynes, who says that he has been trying to call for a whole week, but to no avail. Bernard, I have told you when you have difficulties calling, call my phone and I will put you through. I've said that to you. So if you can't reach my phone, you can't reach the studio number, the WhatsApp line number, which is 487-9849, then maybe your phone has a problem. But we have a call on the line. Good afternoon. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
So Bernard gets preferential.
Don't you start with that. Don't you start. He hasn't called yet. You beat him to it. Don't you start.
I intended to beat him to everything.
Okay, well, you did on this occasion.
Yes. Shelton, good afternoon again.
Good afternoon.
I just want to emphasize the point that, you see, we need to remember a couple of things. When you see we're living this life and we are given a little bit of power, respect people. And it is not just political power. When you are given power, respect people. Because the very people you disrespect are the very ones you are going to need to regain that power. We behave like we don't care. We ride on people's shoulders to power or to positions. And when we get there, we look down on them. We look down at them, and we don't thank them and treat them like they matter. All inner certain. Alan Chasnick is about the St. Lucian people, the very people he shit on for 5 years and a few months. Those very people that he looked at as non-entities. He made no policies that benefited us. None. No, absolutely nothing. The document he had to sign for the gas to go down that was on his desk on election night, it disappeared. The 680 that he lied to us about that they were making on gas, when he came in, he said it was never there. And he did nothing. Okay? And now you come in and cry. Huh? You getting angry because you want us to give you power for what? For what? Alan Shaftney did not deserve the power that he got. And for this reason, St. Lucians will treat him like they wanted to treat him in the beginning, but decided, hey, because of his school, let's see if he's smart. We have recognized he ain't even a knife by the drawer, let alone the sharpest knife in the drawer. So he can go back to the board, whether he call it a drawing board, a washing board, a surfing board. He can go back to that board the Misi times. Whole koi babu.
All right. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Okay. Now, Bernard Hines, you're on the air. Bernard Hines, good afternoon. You are on the air. You have to turn down the volume on your TV or Facebook or whatever.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Shelton.
Good afternoon, Reverend. You're on the air.
Yes, sir. Shelton, when I was growing up, there was a song that my stepfather used to play almost every Sunday morning. I used to hear that song. It goes something like, Satan is real, working with power. He can tempt you and lead you astray. Okay. I am not going to call the leader of the opposition Satan, but the word of God tells me that God has no part with a liar.
That's right.
Now, Satan is the father of lies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to make a comparison there. I don't even know where I'm going with that, but I don't want to call the leader of the opposition Satan. But Shelton, you realize the CIP talk kind of calm down.
Of course it has to. It has basically run out of steam.
Sunday, to be honest with you, I took my time. Although my friend Miguel tell me already, but you know, Shelton, I like to listen around. So I took my time to listen to the grand, big activity Swabu had in New York. You know, I thought was a campaign election going on in New York. You know, the way that was talked about and the way this. So I said, you know what, let me listen to the former Prime Minister who said he's going to address St. Lucians. So then, instead of I went to Washington, I met Martinez and here is the report. So then I had nothing.
Yeah. All you're hearing is about don't send any barrels to your family in St. Lucia.
Shelton, wait.
Yeah, sorry.
But there is the story that I'm expecting my family. Shelton, even you, I'm expecting you to see you. I'm expecting to see you in the States because you ain't gonna need visa, brother.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
While all countries are now trying to put visa restrictions and have people visit them having visa. The US go relax visa for St. Lucia, so I'm expecting. And let me tell you, when you come and bring Miguel with you, because that's the man I want to see too. You know. Because you're going to need visa. You need visa, Papa. But not that alone. The fellas doing that fast, tell him the little barrel I saying for you. If you want labor, don't give it to you.
Yeah.
Don't put nothing in it for you. You all know Miguel is blood labor, so you put nothing in it for Miguel.
Yeah. The same Belrose doctrine, the fellas trying to take that and apply that to families, to relatives, to people, you know. sending things to one another. They want to come and bring politics. But that is the same set of people who, when they were in power, not a peco to the 6 constituencies that voted for the other side, you know, in terms of the constituency development program.
Be so heartless and cruel. My friend, my sister supports UWP. Because she supports UWP, I will send a box, a barrel to St. Lucia and tell my brother or tell my uncle or tell my, do not give them because that is labor box there.
I'm telling
Come
you.
on, Sebuksa, that is breaking it. That is taking it.
So now you understand that these same people who are going out after people's family, the Prime Minister's daughter, the Reno Gajada's daughter, this person is this person's family, and even family people don't have the giving to them, saying that people, these very same people who have this thing about going out to assassinate the character of people based upon who their family is and so on, and to vilify them in the worst ways. These people are now telling families, don't worry even if somebody is your son, your daughter, your cousin. Papa yon kite stav, kite fin, not a peko police who is on labor. So it just goes to show the very twisted and damaged mindset of those people that they're trying to transfer and transpose onto St. Lucians to cause us to think in their very same destructive and damaged way. We have to keep those people far from us, because they're not changing.
The mind of the leader is the mind of the followers, Shelton. Because look what he did when he was in it. The first person, when the fellas have a perception or perceive that you are not a follower, Belrose doctrine or call. The fellas took out Asin James' daughter.
His niece.
So many people the fellas went after.
His niece.
Kirby Alley, the fellas made a clear statement and they sent it not in a mail but openly to Kirby Alley and tell him as long as they're in power he will never eat.
Yeah.
Shelton, the fellas' mind are so twisted. The fellas' mind are so twisted. Shelton, when I heard the fellas spoke on Sunday, I heard Guy Joseph Dyer tribe. Shelton, I thought it was bukkaks that the man ate. The man started a statement on Pip's daughter. He ran away. Everything he tried to touch. The man never spent a minute trying to. The fellas have no conversation, no PowerPoint, nothing to defend. The fellas cannot take on a piece of legislation and say, look, this is what, let's discuss that.
They just
all over the place, malparling, méprising people, and you come in, according to that, you let them pay a ticket. A ticket, he tell me, well, my parents do say, because last year I say, when the ticket you can spend freely. But you can pay a ticket, but you have to New York. And you can stay betisa, a door, plus, côté, nous supposons qu'on est là.
That's right.
Children, I listened to this one on Sunday. I tell you, yesterday I was pretty happy. I was listening to Kamala Harris yesterday in New Hampshire, giving out her economic plan. Children, right away I wrote on Facebook, is anyone listening to Kamala Harris? Prime Minister Philip J. Are you listening to? Children, I want you to go back and listen to that because the exact same policy Philip J. had instituted in St. Lucia is exactly what I thought was there. She borrowed that thing. Smart business, giving to the youth in youth. Children, the very same policy when I heard Kamala Harris, but some people are not by Kamala Harris. This is what you listen to. These are the kinds of things you want to hear. Policies, how it will change the life of people. When I listened to this, I said, if St. Lucia allowed these kinds of behavior, that is not even Trump-like behavior, because Trump will tell you, I will cut off taxes for the millionaires. But Shelton, this fellas is a holy garbage in front of people.
But not only that, though. These fellas are going to victimize people who are earning so little money, low-income earners, low-level workers, home care givers, nice people, all of that. Alan Shastney will go after to fire them and so on. The man has nothing to say, okay, that person is really not of that great significance in the scheme of things, we'll overlook them. No. Right down to grass cutters and drain cleaners and nice and whatever they're going after. But let me tell you something else.
Everybody.
Yeah, let me tell you something else I find about Shastney. Shasta does not seem to have a mind that can endure concentrating on anything for very long. He jumps from one thing to the next. He does not seem to be a guy who, even as leader of opposition or chairman of public accounts, or even as prime minister, can deal with a document of any length to read through it and to digest it and extract. So he goes up to Washington. Martinez could have laid anything. Shasta is not the kind of man who will take his time to read through anything and to get through it. He'll skim through, he'll listen, he'll pretend that he's reading and so on. I suspect somebody else does his assignments for him. And so Shasta comes back and Shasta has nothing from his meeting with Martinez, nothing that he can give you, etc. whatsoever. He has to go back again. He has to get, for Martinez to send him some of the things and so on. But you were up there, you could have asked them to photocopy this and photocopy that for you. You know what I'm saying? Why did you go? I don't know. It's just madness with those people. These people are mad and they're trying to make the rest of us mad with them, Misery loves company.
And the thing about it, I listened to Champagne in an interview on another Caribbean news line network. And man, my goodness, if Champagne think he's going to put his hat in the ring against Philip JP, I think he's not just going to be thrown into the drain.
Yeah.
That bottle will break.
Yeah, but Champagne.
Because trust me.
Don't tell that to Champagne. Champagne is one of those who really think he heavy. He think he heavy. Anyway.
To head up and speak.
Yeah,
to head up. No, man, they don't need a better PowerPoint. If you need better speaking points, passage as near. People don't have everything. Because let me go to Champagne. What is information by Champagne leader? At least you say well, he parle about side, parle about changing the community, what he can do for the. At least, Baisa. So you say by leader opposition. Me pashas ne pagay because these fellas, oh my God, Kodiamundi, diarrhea, malted, Betty's. Shelton, good night, good afternoon, goodbye.
All right, okay, my buddy. Thanks a lot. Japan, where are we now with the time? We should be almost out of it. I think it's already slipped a little past 2. So we know how it goes with the lotto. Maybe it hasn't come in yet, but it might at any point. So I think we got to wrap it up there. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening, for your participation. Don't forget tonight, 8:30 on NBC Television and Real FM, as well as on the Facebook Live, we'll be having Can I Help You? With Richard Frederick and Albert Friedrich. Shelton Daniel for now, signing out.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
The winning numbers for the midday draw of Thursday, 5th September 2024 were Double Daily Grand, 4, 11, 14, 20. Big 4, 3, 4, 9, 3. Big 4 Multi-X, FP. Pick 2, 2, 0. Pick 2 Multi-X, FP. 1 off, 5, 1, 3. Lucky 3, 8, 9, 7. Lucky 3 Multi-X, 5X.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here